Today we embark on a journey through ancient Greece, a world rich with myths where terrifying monsters were not just agents of chaos, but often enforcers of justice. These creatures, with their extraordinary powers, embarked on missions of retribution, fulfilling roles that echoed the values and beliefs of their time. Let's begin with the chilling story of the Furies, known as the Erinyes. Emerging from the blood of a god, the Furies were fearsome creatures tasked with avenging crimes against the natural order, particularly those against family. It is said that they would pursue their targets relentlessly, driving them to madness or even death. In a society where familial loyalty was paramount, the Furies served as a haunting reminder of the consequences of breaking those sacred bonds. They were the embodiment of justice when the human courts were inadequate, serving celestial warrants that rooted from divine, albeit fearsome, justice. Now, let us wander into the labyrinth, where the Minotaur resides. This beastly creature, half man and half bull, was born from the hubris of King Minos of Crete. Yet, while the Minotaur might not seem like a typical agent of justice, his existence served as ironic retribution for Minos's offenses against the gods. Enclosed within the labyrinth, the Minotaur was a relentless reminder of the chaos that ensues when human pride challenges divine will. Each individual sent into the labyrinth faced the justice of their people's arrogance, where survival became their only redemption. A different tale unfolds with the myth of Medusa, whose serpentine locks and petrifying gaze represented a complex form of justice. Once a beautiful maiden, Medusa's transformation into a gorgon was not her own doing, but a punishment ordained by Athena after Medusa was violated in Athena's temple. Here, justice takes a reflective turn. Medusa became an avenger of her own tragedy, wielding her deadly power against those whose desires mirrored that of her violator. Her story speaks to a societal acknowledgement of victimhood and a divine grant of terrible power as a form of reclaiming agency. The sea was not devoid of its own monstrous judges. Scylla and Charybdis, looming over the narrow strait, were dreaded obstacles for sailors. These monsters were not just hazards, but served as judgments against those who dared to venture too far or too boldly. Oceanic wrath embodied in Scylla's multiple heads and Charybdis's monstrous whirlpool was nature's way of asserting authority over human ambition. Navigating between them required skill and humility, reiterating the punishment awaiting those who failed to respect the delicate balance between human endeavor and natural law. Finally, we turn to the Sphinx, whose narrative encapsulates intellect as a form of justice. The Sphinx posed her deadly riddle to those seeking passage through Thebes. Failure to solve it meant a grim fate, but success, as demonstrated by Oedipus, led to not just survival but enlightenment, a passage into a realization that often came with its own burdens. The Sphinx illustrated the idea that true justice requires wisdom and insight, a lesson imprinted prominently in the fabric of ancient Greek thought. These Greek monsters, fierce and formidable, served as more than simple horror figures. They were embodiments of moral, ethical, and divine justice, skillfully woven into the stories that have survived millennia. Through them, the ancients imparted complex lessons about human nature, the capricious yet structured will of the gods, and the omnipresent balance that their society sought to maintain. In this intricate tapestry of mythology, we find a reflection of humanity's eternal dance with justice, where every monster was both a nightmare and a protagonist in the storyline of retribution. As we delve into these mythologies, we see mirrored the age-old quest for balance in our own modern pursuits of justice. With these stories, the ancients remind us, justice may take monstrous shapes but remains a cornerstone of civilization.